For over 100 years, the Philippine Women's University has been known as a leader in quality education. In 1934, PWU moved into its main campus on Taft Avenue, and since the 1970s has been co-educational. Located in the heart of Metro Manila, it is easily accessible by public transport and surrounded by affordable housing. PWU School of Nursing has been offering high-quality, student-centered, and innovative nursing programs for over 6 decades. PWU's graduate programs upgrade the qualifications of nursing professionals, allowing them to advance in their chosen fields in the Philippines and globally. In the allied health fields, PWU pioneered in programs such as pharmacy, which was established in 1926 to train students who want to succeed in any aspect of pharmacy services. The first women doctors' polyclinic in the Philippines was set up in PWU in 1951. In 1986, PWU's Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics became the first nutrition program to be accredited by the Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities. PWU was also the first educational institution in the Philippines to focus on the prevention of acute illnesses and chronic diseases through its Master of Science in Clinical Nutrition program taught jointly with the St. Luke's Medical Center. PWU School of Medical Technology offers a competency-based curriculum enhanced by intensive training in clinical laboratory procedures. Offering a Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology and a Master's program in Medical Technology and Health Systems Management, PWU also offers a certificate program in phlebotomy. In nursing and the allied health fields, PWU continues to play an essential role in healthcare education, producing graduates who possess the skills that make them competitive in the country and anywhere in the world.
Communication arts allows you to dip your feet into anything. You will never feel limited, and you will never feel boxed in.
Taking up communication arts made me realize I can be at places I didn't imagine. Eventually, along the process, na-discover ko pala na I can do more. I am more than my dreams.
And so being a comm arts major gives me confidence that wherever I am, I can speak my mind in any situation and communicate with ease with others.
Most importantly, communication arts students have the opportunity to understand communication in a wide variety of contexts. We have the power to influence and educate others for the better.
Philippine Women's University allowed me to explore far beyond my expectation. Whether you are just building your networks or just exploring who or where you want to be, PWU will not just give you papers, exams, curriculums, but you will learn by experience.
Thank you to our frontliners for being our modern heroes. We appreciate your sacrifices.
Our dear frontliners, thank you for having a brave heart, kind heart, and caring heart. God bless you all.
Dear frontliners, thank you for doing your best to take care of our country. Thank you for being such a nice person to us. I hope you guys are safe, and thank you for always helping us. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, frontliners. Keep safe. God bless. Bye. For caring us, I love you. I will pray for you. Dear Dr. Francisco, thank you for taking care of us. I love you.
PWU Music Education provided a big boost to my teaching arsenal, as it opened up a big opportunity to render my services to teach Philippine and Asian music cultures in an exclusive institution for future women leaders. My experiences allowed me to become a reflective teacher, providing what is essential, showing how certain instruments are ought to be played, raising awareness to the state and condition of indigenous groups in the Philippines, and allow students growth through experiential and collaborative learning.
Music can never be like a loose rope when we teach it. It has to be very tight with information to help understand the reasons why we should study this, like any other subjects. We cannot just say, listen to it, but rather lead them to comprehend on the hows and whys of every music there is, to make it more meaningful and connecting. That is what I gained in my degree. Music education brought us to teach every young artists that the root is where we should always begin, to bridge the ends of knowledge and passion. And it is in the beauty of arranging those tones into a beautiful melody and a story that would then plunge into every part of your soul. Because yes, music, albeit a creation of the mind, is still and always from the heart to your heart. This is Aubrey Benvenida, Bachelor of Music, major in Music Education, batch 2019, PWU School of Music.
For over 100 years, the Philippine Women's University has been known as a leader in quality education. In 1934, PWU moved into its main campus on Taft Avenue, and since the 1970s has been co-educational. Located in the heart of Metro Manila, it is easily accessible by public transport and surrounded by affordable housing. PWU School of Nursing has been offering high-quality, student-centered, and innovative nursing programs for over 6 decades. PWU's graduate programs upgrade the qualifications of nursing professionals, allowing them to advance in their chosen fields in the Philippines and globally. In the allied health fields, PWU pioneered in programs such as pharmacy, which was established in 1926 to train students who want to succeed in any aspect of pharmacy services. The first women doctors polyclinic in the Philippines was set up in PWU in 1951. In 1986, PWU's Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics became the first nutrition program to be accredited by the Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities. PWU was also the first educational institution in the Philippines to focus on the prevention of acute illnesses and chronic diseases through its Master of Science in Clinical Nutrition program taught jointly with the St. Luke's Medical Center. PWU School of Medical Technology offers a competency-based curriculum enhanced by intensive training in clinical laboratory procedures. Offering a Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology and a Master's program in Medical Technology and Health Systems Management, PWU also offers a certificate program in phlebotomy. In nursing and the allied health fields, PWU continues to play an essential role in healthcare education, producing graduates who possess the skills that make them competitive in the country and anywhere in the world.
Communication arts allows you to dip your feet into anything. You will never feel limited, and you will never feel boxed in.
Taking up communication arts made me realize I can be at places I didn't imagine. Eventually, along the process, na-discover ko pala na I can do more. I am more than my dreams.
And so being a comp arts major gives me confidence that wherever I am, I can speak my mind in any situation and communicate with ease with others.
Most importantly, communication arts students have the opportunity to understand communication in a wide variety of contexts. We have the power to influence and educate others for the better.
Philippine Women's University allowed me to explore far beyond my expectation. Whether you are just building your networks or just exploring who or where you want to be, PWU will not just give you papers, exams, curriculums, but you will learn by experience.
Grace
PWU Music Education provided a big boost to my teaching arsenal, as it opened up a big opportunity to render my services to teach Philippine and Asian music cultures in an exclusive institution for future women leaders. My experiences allowed me to become a reflective teacher, providing what is essential, showing how certain instruments are ought to be played, raising awareness to the state and condition of indigenous groups in the Philippines, and allow students' growth through experiential and collaborative learning.
Music can never be like a loose rope when we teach it. It has to be very tight with information to help understand the reasons why we should study this, like any other subjects. We cannot just say, listen to it, but rather lead them to comprehend on the hows and whys of every music there is, to make it more meaningful and connecting. That is what I gained in my degree. Music education brought us to teach every young artists that the root is where we should always begin, to bridge the ends of knowledge and passion. And it is in the beauty of arranging those tones into a beautiful melody and a story that would then plunge into every part of your soul. Because yes, music, albeit a creation of the mind, is still and always from the heart to your heart. This is Aubrey Benvenida, Bachelor of Music, major in Music Education, batch 2019, PWU School of Music.
For over 100 years, the Philippine Women's University has been known as a leader in quality education. In 1934, PWU moved into its main campus on Taft Avenue, and since the 1970s has been co-educational. Located in the heart of Metro Manila, it is easily accessible by public transport and surrounded by affordable housing. PWU School of Nursing has been offering high-quality, student-centered, and innovative nursing programs for over 6 decades. PWU's graduate programs upgrade the qualifications of nursing professionals, allowing them to advance in their chosen fields in the Philippines and globally. In the allied health fields, PWU pioneered in programs such as pharmacy, which was established in 1926 to train students who want to succeed in any aspect of pharmacy services. The first women doctors polyclinic in the Philippines was set up in PWU in 1951. In 1986, PWU's Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics became the first nutrition program to be accredited by the Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities. PWU was also the first educational institution in the Philippines to focus on the prevention of acute illnesses and chronic diseases through its Master of Science in Clinical Nutrition program taught jointly with the St. Luke's Medical Center. PWU School of Medical Technology offers a competency-based curriculum enhanced by intensive training in clinical laboratory procedures. offering a Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology and a Master's Program in Medical Technology and Health Systems Management. PWU also offers a certificate program in phlebotomy. In nursing and the allied health fields, PWU continues to play an essential role in healthcare education, producing graduates who possess the skills that make them competitive in the country and anywhere in the world.
Communication arts allows you to dip your feet into anything. You will never feel limited, and you will never feel boxed in.
Taking up communication arts made me realize I can be at places I didn't imagine. Eventually, along the process, na-discover ko pala na I can do more. I am more than my dreams.
And so being a comm arts major gives me confidence that wherever I am, I can speak my mind in any situation and communicate with ease with others.
Most importantly, communication arts students have the opportunity to understand communication in a wide variety of contexts. We have the power to influence and educate others for the better.
Philippine Women's University allowed me to explore far beyond my expectation. Whether you are just building your networks or just exploring who or where you want to be, PWU will not just give you papers, exams, curriculums, but you will learn by experience.
Thank you to our frontliners for being our modern heroes. We appreciate your sacrifices.
Our dear frontliners, thank you for having a brave heart, kind heart, and caring heart. God bless you all.
Dear frontliners, thank you for doing your best to take care of our country. Thank you for being such a nice person to us. I hope you guys are safe, and thank you for always helping us. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, frontliners. Keep safe. God bless. Bye. For caring us, I love you. I always pray for you. Dear Dr. Francisco, thank you for taking care of us. I love you.
To the School of Graduate Studies General Assembly, let me read to you the rules and regulations and guidelines for this virtual General Assembly. Ensure stable connection. Make sure that you have a stable internet connection to avoid missing important portions of the event because of unavoidable School connection of Graduate Studies General Assembly. Phone on mute when necessary. To you the rules and regulations and guidelines for this virtual General Assembly. This is to prevent unwanted stable connections from distracting the host. Make sure that you have a stable internet connection on the call. To avoid, type your name in your missing important portions of the event because you are unavoidable connection so that you will be phone on mute when necessary. Also, the rules and regulations aside from this person need for General Assembly. The program this is to prevent unwanted stable connections from distracting the host. You have a stable internet connection to share your input. Avoid type your name in using important portions. Take notes as well. Taking down notes will help you remember so that you will points from your webinar. May also the rules and regulations beneficial if you turn off your camera assembly. Turn off your webcam and want your stable presentation from distraction. You have a stable you are in the listening mode. Check that your webcam is using forward portions. Take notes as well. Taking down provide feedback with your evaluation survey. Your webinar would like to understand your regulations beneficial provide your need for camera assembly. Turn off your webcam and want your stable presentation from distraction. You have a stable feedback on how the webinar turned out. Help us improve by suggesting things that you think they can work on to improve future webinars. You can also cite other topics that you'd look forward to being discussed next. This webinar is live streaming via YouTube. We would like to remind the participants that this webinar is currently live streaming in our PWU channel or YouTube channel. Refrain from using chat rooms for socializing. Refrain from using the chat room just to socialize. Some of the side chats are on our last conference became a distraction. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Now, let us call the Director of the Graduate Studies, Dr. Emerita Sornosa, for the welcome remarks. Dr. Sornosa, let us welcome Dr. Sornosa to give the welcome remarks for today's Graduate Studies Student General Assembly.
Good morning. I, Emmy Sornosa, the Director of Graduate Studies, is now welcoming everyone to our second Graduate Studies virtual. Hindi ba ako nadidinig?
We can hear you.
Just go on, ma'am. Just go on, ma'am. It's okay. You may continue po.
I, Emmy Sornosa, the Director of Graduate Studies, is now welcoming everyone to our second Graduate Studies General Virtual Assembly. We have shared uncertainty in these trying times last trimester, but we come together today and started the press to begin our second trimester for school year 2020 to 2021. As we embark on this journey, I urge all of you to consider two things that might help you and guide you in this time of the year. First, be assured that as you are watching your screen at home, yes, you are now part of PWU community. And I can ensure that you made the right choice in trusting your future with PWU. As you had already your first 3 meetings, the last 3 Saturdays, I assume that you have met already astonishing classmates, energetic faculty members, and ever supportive non-teaching employees, plus an array of learning and sharing experiences from various expertise and multi-talented people that will help you expand your horizon. Second, I want you to fully be encouraged to do your research successfully. We have brought you our SBPA, who will share her guidance and knowledge regarding how to make or prepare the annotated bibliography. And our ever expert librarian, Ms. Purita Uson, will share her expertise on how to prepare bibliography and references for our future research. As future educators, let us work together, share our expertise across, and collaborate on our researches in order for us to explore new knowledge. Be optimistic that because all of us together, we can make a difference and contribute greatly to our community, our nation, and the whole world together. Lastly, let me extend my warmest greetings of a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and to all the family. Thank you. I want you to meet our president on the screen, Mr. Marco Alfredo Benitez. Our SBPA Chancellor, glad to present to you Dr. Pelina C. Yang. And yours truly, my contact details. Our agenda, let me present to you our agenda for today. First, the graduate programs and administration, deans, and program chairs. You will meet them on screen as well. The policies and guidelines, graduate school requirements, our calendars, reminders. And the presentation will be conducted by our Dr. Pelina Yang, the annotated bibliography, and the e-library to be presented by Ms. Purita Uson and followed by open forum. Let me start by defining to you what is graduate studies education. Graduate studies education includes master's program, typically 1 or 2 years of full-time study, following an undergraduate degree, and doctoral programs approximately 4 to 6 additional years of your study, which may follow master's degree. Graduate education shall be so structured as to enhance quality, efficiency, and effectiveness in higher education. Graduate education shall be made more relevant and more responsive to the development needs of the educational system, as well as to the regional and national development trusts. Graduate education shall take the lead role in enhancing the quality of the Philippine higher education towards global competitiveness and world-class scholarship. For PWU, we are offering graduate programs, 48 master's degree programs, and 6 doctoral degree programs. Next slide. Let us meet our Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Leonardo Muneling. Our program chairs, for Master of Science in Information Technology, Dr. Menchita Dumlao. For Master of Arts in Communication Arts, Ms. Olivia Villafuerte. For Master of Arts in Psychology, Dr. Melissa Alcazaren. For Master of Science in Environmental Management, Ms. Victoria Segovia. Let us meet our Dean for Master of Art in Foreign Service, Ambassador Rosario G. Manalo. Let us meet our program chair from the School of Social Work, Ms. Evelyn Valencia. From the School of Education, Dr. Shirley Aldana Padua. From Conrado Benitez Institute for Business Education, let us meet Dr. Pilina Yang. From the School of Hospitality Management, let us meet Dr. Epramuel Jose Abellana. From the School of Tourism, let us meet Mr. Mark Ian Soriano. From the School of Nutrition and Dietetics, let us meet Ms. Vanessa Ceballos. From the School of Music, let us meet Dr. Clarence Jimenez. From the School of Nursing, let us meet Dr. Minerva de Ala. From the School of Fine Arts and Design, let us meet Ms. Josephine Toralba. From the School of Food Science and Technology, let us meet Dr. Ligaya Braganza. From the School of Pharmacy, let us meet Mark Harvey Adamson. From the School of Medical Technology, let us meet Ms. Sherwin Toriano and Dr. Nini Lim. Here are the list of our doctoral degree programs. Now we will go on to our policies and guidelines of graduate studies. The admission requirements. The admission requirements for school year 2020 to 2021 for our new students. We have 9 listed here. Certificate of transfer credentials, honorable dismissal from the previous school that you are engaged. Number 2, the transcript of records with remarks, copy for PWU. This is the common problem for our transcript of records wherein the remarks copy for PWU is not indicated in your transcript of records. Make sure when you submit, the copy for PWU is stamped in your POR. Number 3, certificate of employment or the barangay clearance if you are unemployed. Permit to study if you are government employee. If you are a PRC license, please provide a photocopy of your license. Number 6, please provide your PSA birth certificate photocopy if you are a local student. But if you are a foreign student, it should be authenticated. Number 7, if you are married female students, you need to provide your marriage certificate, an ID pictures, and for international students, CHED requirements and immigration laws prescribed by the Philippine government has to be complied with. Let us browse our calendar for second trimester school year 2020 to 2021. I'll give you 3 to 5 seconds if you want to screenshot the calendar. Our second trimester has just started last November 28th, and now we are on the 4th meeting number. Until the end on the 13th number, our last day is March 6, 2021. The third trimester calendar. Then the first trimester school year 2021 to 2022. This is the calendar provided to you. Then the second trimester for school year 2021-2022. Let us now go to the requirements for graduation, school year 2020 to 2021. You need to complete the program of your study based on your approved curriculum, and it should not exceed within 5 years for a master's degree and 7 years for a doctoral degree. For a master's degree, you need to acquire at least a cumulative weighted average grade of 2.0, and for a doctoral degree, you need to comply a grade of weighted average of 1.75. Failure to comply may subject to a 9 units repressor course. A graduate student who has not completed his master's degree after 10 years and a doctoral degree after 12 years has to repeat his or her graduate studies and start from the very beginning. Another requirement is you have to pass the written comprehensive examination. But for this time of pandemic, we have incorporated the oral integrative examination. Passing the final oral depends on submission of approved 2 hardbound and soft copies of your thesis and dissertation. Submission of 1 article for publication in peer-reviewed journal. This will be implemented. Compliance on all the documentary and academic requirements. Let me remind you of the important dates to remember for this school year. The next virtual written comprehensive exam or oral integrative exam will be scheduled on March 22 to April 15, 2021. Last day of class, second term, March 6, 2021. First day of class, third term, April 10, 2021. need to know about our written comprehensive exam. First, submission of the annotated bibliography to Dean and Program Chair, not later than March 13, 2021. Second, oral integrative exam, the OIE, from March 22 to April 15, 2021. WCE grade, 50% OIE exam plus 50% the annotated bibliography. The WCE result should be submitted not later than April 17, 2021. Written comprehensive exams for master's program. The first requirement, 45 annotated bibliography, 15 each in 3 areas of specialization, equivalent to 50% of your WCE grade. Second, the oral integrative examination, which is OIE, the 50%, a total of 100%. Note, the examination will be based on an article in the student's field of specialization. The article will be given a day before the examination date. For doctoral programs, you are required to submit 90 annotated bibliographies, 30 each in 3 areas of specialization, equivalent to 40% of your WCE grade. Course syllabus, any subject in any doctoral program, 30%. And the oral integrative exam, 30%, for a total of 100%. Before taking the oral integrative exam, you need to accomplish clearance or application for written comprehensive examination. Make sure that before you send this form to me, kindly make sure that the registrar, the accounting, and your dean has cleared you of any responsibility. And then you need to fill up this form, oral integrative examination. After this, the ICT will schedule the oral integrative exam and will send you the meeting invite. Now, doing or passing the written comprehensive exam, you are now ready to do your proposal defense. You need to fill up these forms, the application for oral defense, get clearance, and get the schedule of your virtual defense. The form is here. Submit digitally with your advisor approval the thesis of at least 10 working days before the date of your defense, whether proposal or final defense. For dissertation, you need to submit at least 16 working days before the date of defense to the dean or program chair or earlier. Once you are done with your thesis and you got the approval from your advisor and all the panelists, you can submit your hardbound NCD, and the last day of submission would be July 10, 2021. Now, let me encourage you why we do research. First, research is a tool for building knowledge and for facilitating learning. It is also will help or a means to understand various issues and increase public awareness. Doing research is an aid to your career success and become a lifelong learner. Doing research also is a way to prove lies and to support truths using empirical data. It can be a means to find, gauge, and seize opportunities. This is also a seed to love reading, writing, analyzing, and sharing valuable information. And the good thing, it is a nourishment and exercise of our mind. Now, I want to introduce to you our librarian, Ms. Pirita Buson, who will present to you on how to use PWU e-library and help you in the creation of your bibliography and references. Ms. Pirita Buson.
Menchit, slide 1, please. Welcome to PWU Libraries. Next, please. The departmental libraries. Aside from the main library, we have the departmental libraries, and they are the science library, the graduate school library, and the high school library. Later in my talk, each of the departmental libraries will be discussed. The Online Public Access Catalog, or OPAC. When looking for a book, this may be consulted by the library user before he goes to the specified location. A book may be searched through its author, title, or subject. The circulation stock area contains all fiction and non-fiction books which may be borrowed for home use. Books in different disciplines comprise the collection in the circulation stock area. Next, please. The reserve section contains the books and other materials assigned as required reading for students. Reserve books with several copies may be borrowed for overnight use only and over the weekend. The newly acquired books section. The revolving carousel contains the newly acquired and processed books that are ready for circulation. The Internet Room houses the computer workstations for Internet surfing. Printing service is provided at a minimal cost of 3 pesos per page. The Fine Arts collection is composed of books on the arts such as painting, photography, sculpture, advertising, interior decoration and design, and other works of notable artists in the Philippines and abroad. The music collection. Books in the field of music and arts, as well as musical scores of piano, guitar, and voice constitute the collection. Part of the collection are the compositions of our national artist, Dr. Lucrecia Casilag, who was once the Dean of the PWU College of Music and Fine Arts. The social work collection covers mostly the field of social sciences with particular emphasis on social work services, social welfare, social work counseling, social deviation, social work practice, social change, and other fields of social work. The reference section contains the general reference books such as dictionaries, encyclopedias, yearbooks, indexes, and standard references in the special subject fields. These references are not for home use, but parts of the books may be photocopied. The periodical section contains the bound and single issues of professional and cultural print journals. Two discussion rooms are available for the use of the faculty and students. An advance reservation for the use of the discussion rooms is needed to be able to use them for brainstorming and other study and research-related activities. The Graduate School Library, this is your library. It contains not only books on the various fields of human endeavors, but also copies of theses and dissertations submitted to the PWU Graduate School. Now, the PWU Libraries have special collections, and one of them is the Asia Collection. It contains reference materials on the history, culture, geography, tourist spots, and government of Southeast Asia countries such as Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Laos, Cambodia, Singapore, and Myanmar. Other Pacific countries like Japan, South Korea, and China are also part of the collection. The Rare Books Collection. This contains the special and unique collection of enduring value of some of PWU Library's oldest books. The copyright dates of the books in this collection dates back to as early as 1846, 1895, 1903, 1906, etc. Due to the delicate condition of the books, that is having brittle and yellow pages, they are no longer for circulation. The Women's Collection is composed of books on the following subjects: women in education, women in politics, women in business, women in sports, gender and development, and feminism. The Science Library is one of the departmental libraries in PWU. It contains the collection of books and periodicals in the field of medical and pure sciences, such as nursing, medical technology, biological sciences, pharmacy, and others. Rizaliana. This is comprised of books about our national hero, Dr. Jose Protasio Rizal. The reference materials are about the life, works, and writings of the great nationalist. The Filipiniana collection is composed of books about the Philippines and Filipinos, published in the Philippines and abroad, and written by a Filipino or a foreigner. The high school library caters to the research and study needs of the high school students of PWU. The junior and senior high school students are also using this library. Our undergraduate students may also do research in this library, but books are for inside reading only. The presentation that I just gave about the PWU libraries were the typical situations and scenes before the global health crisis. Communication then between the library staff and the library patrons were face-to-face. But since we are in this pandemic, we have to suspend some of our services and shift to providing our customers with online library services. Thus, with our move from physical to digital collections, services, and operations, I will be presenting to you the library's databases that are currently being accessed by our deans, program chairs, faculty, and students. The e-resources or the electronic resources is comprised of e-journals and e-books. So we have the Gale Virtual Reference Library or GVRL. This is a database of e-books. For its URL, just type http://infotrack.galegroup.com/itweb/phwomenu. The password is resource, and that is for off-campus access. Next, please. Next, the next database is the ProQuest 5000 Special Collection. The URL is http://search.proquest.com. The username is pwu_Manila, all in small letters. The password is research01, and that is also for all off-campus access. So here are the steps on how to access ProQuest 5000 in the PWU website. Number 1, type the PWU URL, which is www.pwu.edu.ph. 2, click Student Support. 3, click Main Library, which will show on the right side of the screen. 4, scroll down until Online Resources shows. 5, click ProQuest 5000 Special Collection that is within campus. 6, type your topic in the ProQuest search bar, then click Enter. 7, the articles regarding your topic will show. The following are the steps to follow in remote access to ProQuest. 1, search ProQuest in Google. 2, click Student and General Researcher. 3, click Get Started, then Log In. 4, click Other Details. 5, type the username, that is pwu_Manila. 6, type the password, that is research01. 7, type your topic in the ProQuest search bar, then click Enter. 8, the articles regarding your topic will show. Next, please. Amenchit. Next slide, please. Okay, for the electronic resources, at present, the PWU library staff are downloading and uploading electronic resources such as electronic books, electronic journal articles, readings, articles, videos, and PowerPoint presentations that can be used by the teachers and students as references for their online classes. Each of the library staff was given 2 or more undergraduate courses to work on, but we are also accommodating requests from the graduate students. We just have one requirement from the teachers and the students. For the faculty, please email to us your faculty load or teaching assignment for this term. And for the students, please send us your assessment form showing the subjects that you have enrolled in. This is to know that the teacher is officially officially connected with the university, and for the student, if they are officially enrolled as a student of PWU. Thank you for listening and please stay safe, everyone.
Now, let us welcome our SBPA, Dr. Pilina Yang, for the annotated bibliography guidance. Dr. Pilina Yang, good morning. Ma'am, please unmute.
My question is, can you see my PowerPoint presentation? No?
Yes, ma'am, I can see.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Okay, so good morning to everybody. I'm very pleased to speak in the Graduate Studies Student General Assembly. We'd like to take this occasion, of course, PWU would like to greet each of our graduate students Merry Christmas. We are now at the end of our calendar year. Okay, and we thought that it was wise to meet the students for the second term. Okay, so we welcome, of course, all our deans and program chairs, and of course, our dear Graduate Studies Director, Dr. Emerita Sornosa, plus all our dynamic deans and program chairs who always take time to take care of our graduate students in the different areas. So I will not mention all the areas because we have 14 areas. And I'd like to commend the efforts that they have been showing in taking care of our graduate students and also for those with doctoral programs. So as made mention by Dr. Sornosa, we have no less than 48 masteral programs, including plus, of course, not including, plus 6 doctoral programs. So all in all, we have about 54 graduate programs that we are now farming out to our students, and we are very happy with the kinds of students that we have. We have students coming from different parts of the world. We have students from the United States. We have students from Dubai, Saudi. We have students from Qatar. We have students from Guam. We have also students from Africa, not to mention our Asian students, those from China. We have some students from Korea, and I think we have a student from Japan. But more than that, we have students all over from the Philippines. Currently, we also have DHEI students, and these are CHED scholars that were allowed to enroll at PWU, enjoying the CHED scholarship. So PWU is a bona fide, certified, delivering higher educational institution for graduate studies. So, okay, thank you very much for all your support, the students, for your understanding, and of course, our dear faculty who have adjusted their flexible learning modalities to be able to be attuned to the needs of our students given our COVID-19 pandemic. So in that light, we thank all our faculty, our deans, program chairs, our graduate school director, and of course our dear students who still continue to have faith in our delivery of instruction. And of course for this General Assembly, our people at Multimedia and our ICT, of course with the leadership also of Dr. Dumlao, has been helping us, coming out with our presentations and of course our periodic webinars. So far, we have conducted about 30 plus webinars since the time that we went into this lockdown. Okay, so good morning to everybody and thank you and Merry Christmas. Okay, so in this particular Graduate Studies General Assembly, I want to okay, this is a very simplified PowerPoint presentation for writing an annotated bibliography. So if you notice, we have changed our written comprehensive exams. Instead of having the traditional examinations of 5 specialized courses, we reinvented our comprehensive examinations into two types. The first one is we are now requiring our students to come out with their annotated bibliography. And the second one is instead of having the written comprehensive exam, we have come up with our virtual oral integrative examination. So we have fine-tuned our comprehensive examination, trying to make it easy for the students, okay, for the graduate students, and also easy for the faculty, and of course for everybody. So I'd like to give, this one is a very brief writing of an annotated bibliography. Why is it so? Because a great number, I don't think, I'm not so sure which university is doing this in the entire Philippines. Okay, because from what I know, a great number or almost all of our universities and schools and colleges are still on the traditional way of having their comprehensive examinations. So the first component, of course, as made mention by our graduate school director, is actually the writing of an annotated bibliography. And we have set deadlines for the preparation of the submission of the annotated bibliography. And I'd like to reiterate that for master's degree holders, you're supposed to submit 45 annotated citations under your annotated bibliography in 3 different areas. And that means that you have 15 citations per area, or a total of 45. And for the doctoral program, your annotated bibliography will consist of 90 citations and also from 3 specialized areas. Now, what is the good of writing your annotated bibliography? Because at this point in time, we are already encouraging you to think about the topic that you will write for your thesis or your dissertation. And hopefully, you can have already your citations prepared as part of your chapter 2 of your thesis or dissertation, which is your review of related literature. Okay? So actually, it is helping the students to start reading and trying now to prepare for their thesis and dissertation writing. Oftentimes, we see students who just think of a topic after they've finished their academic courses. Okay, my suggestion to all of our students is, while you are enrolled in the course, you know your expertise, you know your inclination, then you look at certain areas when you can start do in-depth reading already to make it part of your chapter 2. And this is what we call your annotated bibliography. Okay? So a very simplified PowerPoint on writing an annotated bibliography. So I first define what is an annotation. Okay, an annotation is simply a summary. Okay? And sometimes you have an evaluation of any form of text. Okay? So it is actually and or. But when it comes to the annotated bibliography, it carries now a different nature. So an annotation, just separately, the word annotation is simply a summary. Okay? Or it can be an evaluation of any form of text. Okay, and then I'd like also to define now what is a bibliography. A bibliography is a list of citations, sources. Okay, and this can come from articles, from the books that you have read, from journals, from websites uploaded in the website, periodicals, or other documents which you can use for researching a certain topic. Now, sometimes the term bibliographies now carries a different terminology, and they're called references or works cited. So again, we will be coming out with a format for writing our thesis and dissertation. The research committee that is composed of the research director, Dr. Munalim, and then of course we have Dr. Dumlao, and then Dr. Braganza of the food science, and myself are now trying to fine-tune and standardize our formatting for the writing of our thesis and dissertation. So whether we keep the old terminology of bibliography or references, that will come out with our succeeding presentations to you. Okay, but generally there are some papers that use the word references instead of bibliographies. Okay, now what is really a bibliography? A bibliography usually includes bibliographic information, which means that you have the author, then of course the year, okay, and then the title, the publisher, and other relevant information. Okay, that's a simple bibliography. And the bibliography is always part of your thesis or dissertation or any research materials that you're working on, because you need to make citations. And the citations will have to show now where you got your source. And your citation or bibliography should be complete. Okay. Now, if I put together now the word annotation and bibliography, then we have what we call an annotated bibliography. Okay? So we're not saying annotated bibliographies. No, it is an annotated bibliography. So what is an annotated bibliography? It is now a list of citations. Okay, so in the masteral program, we have 45 citations that will be under your annotated bibliography, while in the doctoral program, we will be needing about 90 citations, okay, as part of your annotated bibliography. So every citation, okay, it's very simple. It is followed by a brief description. So the description is informative in essence, okay? And you have the second part, which is the evaluation, okay? So the citation, okay, is followed by a brief, descriptive, and evaluative paragraph, or what we call the citation. Now, the purpose of an annotated bibliography is to inform the readers on the following, and we will still discuss others, you know. First of all, the relevance. Number 2, the accuracy. And number 3, the quality. And usually, it is about 150 words. Okay, this one is in reference to our faculty members who serve as advisors and panelists, when we go into our citation, it doesn't mean that we have to be very strict on the recency of our citations. Because I noticed that in some defense, the panelist strictly requires only 5 years recency. So that means that if we are in 2020, they do not allow the students to cite those that are below, let's say, 2014, which is false. Okay? As long as the citations are relevant and important to the study. When you speak about theories, for example, these were, in the 1950s or in the 1920s. We cannot say that we will disregard those citations. Okay? So I'd like to remind our faculty members that to be conscious when they read chapter 2 on citations. Okay? Now, an annotated bibliography is usually about 150 words. Okay, so in other words, more or less, 150 words, that could be a one-pager. Okay? Now, annotated bibliographies are not abstracts. So what are abstracts? Abstracts are purely descriptive summaries, usually written at the beginning of a scholarly journal article or periodical indexes. Okay, so they're not abstracts. On the other hand, annotated, when you have annotated bibliographies, they're both descriptive and critical. Okay, you are not just giving the information, you are now having what we call, critiquing of said article. They may describe the author's point of view, authority, clarity, or appropriateness of expression. So these are two different things. Abstracts, and also I noticed that when we present our dissertation, a number of our students write already the abstracts. That should not be included in your final defense paper because the abstracts will change depending on the revisions that are given by the panelists. So we should not require abstracts when we go into the final presentation or defense of our students. That is the last that is being written. Okay. Again, our abstracts will be short. We will give a format on how to write abstracts. But please don't require our students to write abstracts while they are in the process of defending their paper. Okay. So I hope things are clarified. Okay. So what is the purpose of an annotation? Very simple. You look at it, you understand the text, you track changes or progression in the article that you're reading, and also you identify areas of interest or concern. Okay? So what do you do that? When you read an article, these are some tips that I'd like you to do. You can have your paper, your PowerPoint, your annotated bibliography, your citation, and you can highlight it. You can highlight, you can encircle, you can underline, you can take down notes. And what are the things that you put on the side if you have to take down notes? Get the main ideas or the main points. Are there people that are important in that particular citation? Okay? So, and then of course, if you are making a progression, then you take note of the year. Okay? When it was cited. And then are there words that you don't understand? Then, highlight it, and then if you have time, well, look into the dictionary and, find the meaning of those words. They may be new to you, and so what you will do is, I should learn this word because I need to understand the entire, journal or, entire citation. And then also, highlight also your important ideas and events. So sometimes when people make their researches, you will see that they digress from the usual. Exactly, when you are making a research, you are coming out with your own findings. And so there are some people, when they see their own findings, they will say, oh, I remember, one time somebody was making a study that comparing housewives with working mothers. And all the time the researcher was saying, those who are housewives make good, parents in rearing up their children. Okay. But then, so in fact, even his research, his chapter 2 was more on praising housewives as compared to working mothers. But then when we made the statistics, it came out that there were no significant differences between somebody working, earning a living, and somebody staying at home and taking care of the family. So you can see that while you are reading your annotations, okay, you're reading at that, we cannot have our preconceived ideas. And so we take down notes. Are these notes that are, transgressing, okay, from the normal way of thinking? Then these are very significant, okay, ideas that you can call from this particular annotation, okay? So these are simple tips. You can just, write it down if you have the hard copy, or you can, write notes, online, and your soft copies there, you can make your notes, or you can highlight, use your colors, and that, gets your attention. Okay. Now, what are the steps in writing annotated and annotated bibliography? First one, you've got to search books and periodicals and documents related to what you want to research on. And these may contain useful information and ideas on your research topic. Now, once you have research, take down, okay? When I say take down, you can always, open a file and take down, the titles of these. And then you can, while you're doing that, you can group them already according to your areas of what you want to work on. So let's say I'm looking at HR and I'm looking at, let's say, compensation. Then when I see, I'll work on compensation, employability, probably, and career growth. So then I start to write my files, and I look for files, and then I put them in one, in one area, the titles, the sources, the citation. And then when I do that, I'm able, let's say, to have like 15 or even more, because some, citations may not be as interesting. And then after that, I can group them according to the commonality of the research topic, so that I don't get confused. If I'm looking now at employability of, people, then I can read all about, employability. And then I can do some arrangement chronologically. What came before, and so on, and what will be the contemporary issues about employability. So that's how you do it. You've got to be smart in systematizing how you make your annotated bibliography. Okay? And anyway, we are all now online. It's very easy to create soft, our files. Okay. Then you start now to review the information at hand. And then that is where now you choose only those that present a variety of perspectives on your related topics. Because there is a danger that you might be only talking about one and the same thing, when in fact employability, for example, has different facets. And so, that will help you. And then of course, don't forget to cite the book, periodical, and documentations, and using the format. Generally now, we are using the APA format, okay? Unless there are some disciplines that may be using the MLA format. And then, well, of course, at the moment we're using APA format, but again, the research group will come out with something official. But before that, we will just maintain the status quo. Okay, so write the annotation And what you do is you summarize the main thought of the topic. What are the main arguments? These are, certain things that can serve as guide questions for you. What are the main topic that is being driven by the book or the article or the journal? What topics are covered? And then, have you identified the hypothesis, the results and conclusions presented by the source? Usually, when you have a hypothesis, and I just want to correct this misinterpretation or misunderstanding, that you only have a hypothesis when researchers use samples. Okay, a hypothesis is only related to a sample. But I noticed in the defenses that I listen to, when the researcher, for example, when our students consider the population, take note, the entirety of the sample of the units, which is the population, actually there is no hypothesis. And I've encountered that in a lot of defense. Because when I mentor my students, I tell my students, you don't have a hypothesis. But unfortunately, when they defend and the panelists don't know about it, they will give my student a failing grade for not having a hypothesis. But technically speaking, theoretically speaking, you only have a statement of a problem. And so that's why the sampling technique is very critical when we look at our researches, when we do our annotation. That should be a correction. Now, if you use the hypothesis, there's nothing to infer. If you use the population, there's nothing to infer. So if there's nothing to infer, there is no reason for you to have a hypothesis. But I don't know, it's the practice in the Philippines that they want all papers to have a hypothesis. And so when I mentor, it's not for me to teach our faculty about it. But I just hope we do it correctly. So anyway, I just wanted to stress that the hypothesis is only related to a sample, and therefore the sample is only related to inferential statistics. But once you don't use inferential statistics, then you just have a statement of a problem. Although, of course, many of the studies now use sampling. So anyway, just for correction. So have you identified the hypothesis, the results, the conclusions presented by the source? Then, of course, when you summarize, you don't copy verbatim. What is verbatim? You don't copy word for word. That is already a possibility for plagiarism. So, plagiarism is a different topic altogether. It's a different discussion that we can have in our next General Assembly. But paraphrasing is very simple. Write the ideas of others using your own words. When you paraphrase, you're allowed to do that. But even if you're paraphrasing, you've got to write your source. So when you have your annotated bibliography, your citations, when you make your description, and again your evaluation for whatever it is, you need to write it in your own words. Don't cut and paste. It's a no-no. Just write how you understand the article. That's what we call paraphrasing. Now, of course, somebody will ask me about copying it word for word and using quotation mark. Are we allowed to do that? Yes, but that will be another topic for plagiarism. Now, after summarizing, assess it. And that is where we go into what we call the evaluation part. So the annotation actually is first is informative. It's Yes, a summary. And the second part now is what we call an assessment or an evaluation or a critiquing. Okay? So evaluate the authority or background of the author. These are guide questions. And then find out what is the goal of the source. Comment on to whom it was intended. Okay, the research was intended. And then compare, or you can contrast. Okay? You can negate, you can disagree, you can agree, whatever it is. Okay, this work with another article that you have cited before, because this is also part of your synthesis in chapter 2. And then, is the source biased? Is it objective? Is it useful? Are the information, or rather, is the information reliable? Okay, and lastly, explain how this work illuminates your bibliography topic. Okay? Then, of course, some more if you want, then you do and reflect. Once you've summarized and assessed, how does it fit? Now, if I'm writing now my thesis or dissertation, how this fit into my research? Was this source helpful to me? Did it shape my argument? Okay? How can this source, how can I use this source in my research or dissertation? And what is the applicability? So this one is 4.3 is very significant for your own self. But the annotation is really more of a summary and an assessment. But while you're doing that, hit 2 birds in 1 stone, and you can already do your reflection and then save it for your synthesis, okay, for chapter 2. Okay. Now, why should one write an annotated bibliography? Again, it is a preparation for writing a thesis, a dissertation, or any research paper. It forces you, or me too, to read each source more carefully and critically instead of just collecting information. It allows the student to see what has been done in the literature and then where it can fit one's research, and it makes one see what the issues are, what people are arguing about, and you'll then be able to develop your own perspective regarding your research. So actually, I'd like to say that this particular activity is going to help you in the writing of your dissertation. So while you're doing that, actually you are preparing. If you want to take advantage of doing it in advance, you have to make sure about what particular topic do you really want to write. Actually, that's one of the things that people doing their thesis and dissertation, they should already start thinking about the research that they will do. It's not like I finish all my academic courses and then I start to think of a topic. No, actually I am now monitoring, I am now encouraging our deans now to start mentoring, give already our students advisors who can really, whom they can throw away their ideas and say, because there are some research topics that are not achievable. You cannot finish it, no matter how highfalutin, okay, your research, research topics. I always go for research topics because the research title is the last one you write when you write a paper. It is actually the research title. Because again, that is again putting our students, putting them on one spot and saying, that is your research title. Why did you not follow your research title? But as you read, you will see that there are some research titles that are not achievable. Okay? So we just work on what we call our research topics. And when you do that, you start to read and it widens your horizon. It widens, the topic that you'd like to write about. And it makes, your taking your graduate degree easier for you. Okay, it's going to be more, convenient for you, more easy and faster for you. Because as our dean said, the lifespan for a masteral student is actually 5 years, and for a doctoral student, it's about 7 years. And we wouldn't want to take that long. Because if we take that long, then we will have to be required to enroll in what we call refresher courses, which is actually about 3 subjects, so an extension of another term. Okay? So I'd like you now, while I hope my discussion of an annotated bibliography is clear, I'd like you now to take advantage of knowing how to write an annotated bibliography, and from there, starting to do your own reading. Anyway, you are graduate students. Okay, what makes an undergrad student different from a graduate student? You know more. If you're a graduate student, you should know more about your expertise. You're not anymore an undergraduate student. And how do you develop your knowledge? Do a lot of reading. You've got to do a lot of reading. Even if your professors are not telling you, to read so and so, it has to come from you voluntarily. You are graduate students. You are not undergrad students. And therefore, the willingness to learn more, to develop yourself, to expand your horizon, okay, should be voluntarily from your end. Okay, so I think that will end my very short little lecture on how to write an annotated bibliography. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yang, for that very informative and fruitful discussion. In fact, as I read the YouTube streaming, students are very happy, and we are so glad to read all of your comments, that what you have discussed is very helpful for students. Now, we have a few questions here. I think 1 or 2 students are inquiring if the PowerPoint slide will be available for the students.
Yeah, I will give them to you. Yeah,
yes.
I will.
Yeah, okay. And wait, I'm checking. So far, ma'am, as I can see here, there are not much question, but I think more than 90% are really thank you message. Yeah, so I'm really glad to, and they are really very happy for your discussion. Okay, I will just read some. Okay, Jin Piangshang. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Jan Ping Shang. Okay, good morning. And he said, good morning, Professor Shirley Padua. Okay. And also, okay, here. Thank you very much, Dr. Yang, for sharing the information from Ana Dominguez. Fang Lin again. Fang Lin. Hi, Fang Lin. Para akong nagbibigo dito. Okay, Fang Lin. Dr. Yang is taking about very important content. Yes. Great, and thank you very much. Okay, meron pa ma'am. There are Christmas greetings actually. Cindy Yang Huey. Merry Christmas, Dr. Yang.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, so good. Oh yeah, here. Jackie host. Can you discuss, Doc, about proposal? Okay.
Okay. My dear, can we
later version?
Yeah,
later.
Can we have as another discussion?
Yes,
yeah.
We can have another webinar for that. In fact, we are planning so many webinars also for the graduate school. Okay, ma'am, meron pa pong isang question. Um, from Che Halover. Okay.
Yes.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Mr. Halover, MSFS student. What will happen to the online program of MSFS if mabalik na sa normal? Ano pong mangyayari sa amin? Just like me, I'm in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. So far, this is what I can say. We started our virtual online classes. So the next term, again for the third term, we're still virtual. And then for those who are really out of the country, because we have a great number of students who are out of the country, we will find a way, okay? But we will start using the word blended approach, because from the very beginning, our graduate school is blended approach. So we don't use the word online or distance learning. We are not using that word, except our MAED, our Master in Education. They can offer distance learning in education, MAED, Master in Education. But other than that, we will continue our virtual, because normally, as I said, as I keep on advising you, while you're taking, while you are taking up your doctoral degree, I would advise that you start writing already your thesis and dissertation. It's okay. So far, we are virtual, but we know your concern. Don't get bothered by it. We will handle that as we move along. Okay, did I answer the question, Dr. Dumlao? We will still be virtual. We will continue to be virtual, okay, up to the end of this school year. But then we will take a close look at our virtual classes, and we will provide a venue by which we'll make it we'll make it comfortable for all our graduate students. Okay. So
Thank you very much, ma'am.
No need to worry about it. Okay.
So no need to worry. We are keeping you on track, and we have prepared for whatever that will come. Okay. 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 From Rosette, Jackson, Dr. Yang makes research easy to understand. Okay. Okay, it's a very comprehensive explanation, and your inputs on annotated bibliography is so helpful for us. Okay. So, not much of a question, but most are expression of thanks and gratitude.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So, if you still have more questions, then you can send email to Dr. Sornosa. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yang.
Yeah, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to our dear students. Thank you for your support and trust, with PWU as your university, especially for the graduate school. We will really try to work hard and improve. If we have shortcomings, we'll try to improve on it. Okay, that is our mindset. That we keep on having quality improvement. Okay, but foremost is really the importance of our students. We give most of ourselves to our students as our deans and program chairs. They're always there with you. We always carry this personal touch for our students, whether you are in pharmacy, in medical technology, okay, in other fields. We always want to take care of our students, and I think that one I can vouch for it. We have dynamic deans and program chairs who are always there to take care of our students. Okay. And of course, the university in itself is always supportive of the students. So we really thank you in your trust and belief in what we're doing for the university. So thank you very much. Okay, maraming salamat and Merry Christmas. Okay, so Dr. Sornosa, are you taking over? Okay. Dr.
Okay, ma'am, I will be taking over.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Dr. Yang, for all your help and all your discussion and very uh, uh, powerful leadership to PWU. Thank you very much, ma'am. Very hands-on. Thank you for leading us.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yang. Dr.
Thank
Son.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Menchi.
I think we can proceed to the closing remarks.
Yes,
which
Dr.
I-
Dumlao, our closing
in which-
remark.
Yeah, I will be the one do the closing remarks. Okay. Thank you very much for everyone who attended this very important General Assembly. That's a promise that we will be doing this every trimester because we feel the need for our students to get updated with new policies and also to give you good insights regarding your study, just like what Dr. Yang have mentioned or have discussed today. We have a lot of plans for graduate school. In fact, we have strengthened our research. We are now four heads are better than one. That's what we always say. We work really hard to give students a very comprehensive program, not only for your respective field, but also to guide you on how are you going to make good researches and how you can be successful in doing all of your research. So I commend the committee for having this successful General Assembly and also the rest of students of the graduate school and also the deans and program chairs and the faculty members in the graduate school. Thank you very much. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and take care, everyone. Stay safe. Now we will proceed to the singing of the PWU hymn.